Is you down the ride, never try. You will never know. You ain't never tried. Work it out. Hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wheel. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see the new number 7 in Washington, Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins, as they match up with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Dwayne Haskins to lead the Redskins. The rookie QB wearing that number 7 jersey. The 15th overall pick out of Ohio State. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. 5 yards on the game's first play. 2nd down. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the first-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, 2 traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
To Thompson on the draw. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Come on, now.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Geis. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Looking to throw, Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
On 1st down, it's Thompson. And now running right through it. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. It's Geis, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a 1st down.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
That'll be taken in the end zone. So here are the Dolphins now under first-time head coach Brian Flores. They'll be brought out by the veteran in his 16th season now from Harvard, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fitzpatrick. They'll set up the screen to Balazs. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. A look now at the Miami offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Returnable for Grant. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with his second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Second down, Haskins. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards that time, and a Washington first. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. And this one complete to Reed. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He's got Thompson here, complete. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Haskins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed. His first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Fitzpatrick to throw it. On the move to his... Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes our score 17-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Wilson now in his second season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. To throw is Fitzpatrick. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. He's at the 50. He's at the 40, past the 20, 10, 5, and they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the turnover, it's Haskins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's two schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Fitzpatrick. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. The 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, 82 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's 17-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, I can see he's looked pretty good to this point. Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Redskins now to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The Redskins on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. It's Williams on the catch. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Haskins on 1st down. A short little throw taken in by Reed. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Nice move there by Darius Geis, and he got on my radar in 2016 when he was filling in a lot for Leonard Fournette because he had ankle issues at LSU. And the first time I saw him play, over 200 yards on the ground, a lot of long runs, but he also broke a lot of tackles as well. That's why people had him on their radar for this draft and think that he can be a featured runner, and Washington's counting on it.
Geis showing he's going to be an important part of this Redskin backfield as he's in there again for 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Thompson. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Geis. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a run with Geis. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis His third touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by a Darius Geis touchdown run. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get us.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run here with Balaj. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back.
Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. And they will wind up with the football and the possession. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Got the connection here to Bourne. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Geis. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Being chased out left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mach 80! Mach 56! It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And Wilson has it. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Matt Hawk now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. That's taken on the 25. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, and here we go again.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Don't get nervous. What? Go.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
That's the way. Tight dog.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And it was the Patriots who began yet another title defense with the victory. Tom Brady, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right there, 56. I got one.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This will go for 5 up to the 33.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Fitzpatrick now. And this is caught. It's Parker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Toss play to Balaj. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Fitzpatrick, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
52 and 56, 52 and 56.
Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Grant on the return. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fitzpatrick. And this is Parker, complete. A Miami 1st down on a 14-yard pickup.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They run it with Balaj. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Play 20! Better bring it. You better bring it.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. Third down now to follow.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Strong. Hey, watch the slant.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
This is taken at the 15. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They go with Thompson again. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
36 to Mike. All day, every day.
On third down, it's Thompson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Let's go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Geis. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Haskins. And this one complete to Reed. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Throwing on first down, Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Haskins gets this to Reed.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, it's Geis. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And he finds the tight end, Reed. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, he was 3 for 3 to that point, but he couldn't keep the perfect game going.
Did someone mention it on the bench and jinx it?
Maybe jinx him a little bit.
Well, you doubt it had anything to do with overconfidence, but hey, it's an inexact science. These things do happen.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. On play action, Fitzpatrick. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing Fitzpatrick. He wants it all for the end zone. And he's got his tight end Gesicki in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And it'll be intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And along with the rest of his offense, here comes Jordan Reed now. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held him down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And now off to the races down the right side. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Ready. 36. I got you.
On 2nd down, it's Thompson. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw, Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now Haskins on first down. His throw incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Haskins able to connect there with Richardson, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 38. On first down, it's Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but it's going to be second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D. Say.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They run with Thompson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall. That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Brandon, that's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball. Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort. Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now it's Haskins. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Hey, Mike, 20! Hey, tight down. There you go.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
White 80!
55. Hey, eat. I smell fear in that offense.
Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete.
We got this.
A good pickup there, a 22. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Running over the middle by Grant. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matthew Ioannidis getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Fitzpatrick throwing complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. The Dolphins on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Bravo!
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
Well, it's not going to be a 1st down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the 1st down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. And down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it, and it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He lets this one fly toward the back of, and this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now the Redskin offense will stay out there and go for 2. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
49, check 49, check 49.
Big gas.
Fitzpatrick on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for him because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick. On the right side, open is Gesicki. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball. And you put up a token press, make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Caught the tight end Walford. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
On the delay, it's Balaj. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Check 180! Check 55 to Mike. All day, just like that. Just like that.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now on 2nd and 13, Fitzpatrick. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Fitzpatrick. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Caught by Wilson. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming. Quick dance. Come.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
3rd down. Here's Geis. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Redskins, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.